Hello students, I hope all of you are doing good and studying well at home. Here in this video we are going to discuss about some important points on the chapter 11, the human eye and the colorful wheel. Now students, human eye, that is our eyes, are the most valuable and the sensitive organs. It is as important as the other organs that we have in our body. Okay, whatever we are watching, whatever we are looking, all this is just because of our eye. With the help of this eye we can judge the color of a thing, we can judge the color and the size of the object. It is because of our eyes. That's why we call the human eye is like a camera. It is just like a camera. You can see the figure in the video. In this figure you can see the retina. Can you see the retina? That retina is the screen for the formation. Okay, is the screen for the formation of the image, of formation of the image of the object that we see. Okay, we have discussed about the formation of image, right, in the last chapter number 10. So that image in case of our eyes is formed in the retina. So light, the rays of the light, it enters in our eyes through the cornea. You can see the cornea. So the rays of the light enters through the cornea. Okay, now this crystalline lens, that you can see the crystalline lens, that crystalline lens is it provides the finer adjustment of the focal length. It adjusts the focal length, okay, so that we can focus on the objects at different distances on the retina. Got it? And you can see the iris. Okay, iris is the dark muscular diaphragm that controls the size of the pupil that you can see in the figure, pupil. So iris controls the size of the pupil. And what does the pupil do? Pupil controls the amount of the light to enter in our eyes. Okay, it controls the amount of the light, and in this way the eye in the retina, there forms an inverted real image of the object that we see. Okay, whatever object we are watching, that object, on that object the rays of the lights are falling, and that rays of the light are reflecting back to our eyes. It enters to our eyes through the cornea, and the iris is adjusting the size of the pupil, and the pupil controls those rays of the many rays of the light will be coming to the eyes, to this pupil. So it controls the amount of the light to go behind that, and those lights, those reflected rays of the object what we see are forming the image on our retina, on the retina. And what kind of image it is formed? Real inverted image is formed on the retina. And that retina is a delicate membrane, as I said you. It is a delicate membrane, and it gets activated. Okay, it gets activated as soon as lighting occurs and generates electrical signals, which is sent to the, these signals are sent to the brain through the optic nerves. Okay, there is a connection from the retina to the brain. Optic nerves are there. So through those optic nerves electrical signals are sent. Now just say the first day you have seen me in your school, in your class, that day you were not knowing me, right? The second day when I came to your class, that day you know that I am that person who came yesterday. Yes or no? How it happened? The first day you have seen me, rays of light fall on my body, and it entered to your eyes through the cornea, and the image of my body has taken place. The image, it has formed on your retina, and your retina has transferred those electrical signals to the brain. And in your brain you have, since you have never seen me before, so in your brain, when those signals has been sent to your brain has processed those signals, and try to find out the information that this image is of which person, so your brain could not find out the information because you have never seen me, so no information is stored in your brain, right? So that day you have stored the information in your brain when I said you my name also, and the image also has been formed, so that information has been saved in your brain. On the second day, when I went to your class, as soon as you have seen me, the same procedure happened. Rays of light fall on my body, reflected back to your eyes. Through the cornea, it went to the pupil. Pupil allowed some rays to enter, and the image has been formed on the retina. And on the retina, when my image has been formed, that generated electrical signals, those electrical signals has been transferred to the brain through the optic nerves. And now when those electrical signals has been sent to the brain has processed and has found that this image belongs to Mr. Roy, right? So in this way we can identify an image, we can identify a person to whom we have seen before. Okay, so this is how the human eye works. Human eye works as a camera. Now students, we will discuss the next point, that is the power of accommodation. So students, what is power of accommodation? The ability of the eye lens to adjust its focal length is called accommodation or power of accommodation. Now the eye lens is composed of fibrous jelly-like material, right? So its curvature, the lens curvature can be modified, okay, to some extent by the ciliary muscles. Now see, when that ciliary muscles, you can see the ciliary muscles in the figure, that ciliary muscles, when those muscles are relaxed, that time the lens becomes thin, due to which the focal length increases. And when the focal length will increase, we can see the distant object clearly. Okay, when the focal length increases, we can see the distant object clearly. In the same way, when we are observing a very nearby object, that time the ciliary muscles, those muscles contracts, okay, and we can see the nearby objects clearly, because when the ciliary muscles contracts, the lens, it becomes thicker, as you can see in the figure. So it becomes thicker and the focal length decreases, and when the focal length decreases, we can see the nearby objects. Okay, so dear students, we can see the nearby objects, but the maximum nearby distance, at least of a distinct vision, okay, for a clear vision, is 25 centimeter. Okay, for a nearby distinct vision, the nearby minimum distance is 25 centimeter. We have to keep an object just 25 centimeter away from our eye, then we can see that object very clearly. The more we bring close to our eye, we will see blur. Okay, we will see blur of that object. Okay, we will see blur to that object. Now if I am telling the minimum distance of the object, okay, then you can be asking, sir, then how far it can be, so that we can see that object. Is it 10 kilometer? Is it 20 kilometer? It is infinity for a normal eye. Okay, so the minimum distance for a normal eye is 25 centimeter, and the maximum distance of an object for a normal eye is infinity. Okay, so students, sometimes to the old age people, in their crystalline lens of the eye, we have seen it milky and cloudy, right? That condition of the eye is called cataract. Okay, due to that condition, due to that cataract, they may lose partial or complete vision also. Okay, they may lose partial vision, or else they may lose complete vision also. But there is nothing to worry. they can restore those vision. They can restore the vision through a cataract surgery. Got it? Now here we are going to discuss some points on defects of vision and their correction. So students, many people have different kinds of defects. Some cannot see the nearby objects properly, but they can see the far objects very clearly. Some they cannot see the far objects clearly, but they can see the nearby objects clearly. So some they may be suffering from both the problems. They cannot see the nearby as well as the far objects, right? So all these problems has their own correction. All these problems can be corrected, okay, can be corrected. And let's discuss about those problems of those defects of vision. Number one, myopia. Now see students, myopia is also known as nearsightedness. Myopia is also known as nearsightedness. Now what happens when a person is suffering from myopia? You're going to a doctor, doctor said you are suffering from myopia. What does it mean? Myopia means a person, okay, a person can see the nearby objects clearly but cannot see the distant object clearly. That means he can see the nearby objects clearly but cannot see the far objects clearly. Okay, the objects kept at very far and they cannot see clearly. Okay, so why it happens? Okay, why it happens? This happens due to the excessive curvature of the eye lens. This happens due to the excessive curvature. Okay, as I have said you, the ciliary muscles increases, it relax, and the curvature increases, due to which the focal length also increases, right? So curvature increases, focal length increases. So that curvature, okay, that curvature, due to excessive curvature of the eye lens, that problem may be there. Or else elongation of the eyeball. The eyeball may have increased, the size has increased, due to which that problem, that defect of vision may have arisen. Okay, but that also can be, this problem also can be corrected by using a concave lens. My dear students, a concave lens can correct the myopia defect of vision. Okay, and concave lens of suitable power will bring the image back onto the retina and this defect will be corrected. Got it? Now let's discuss about the second point, that is hypermetropia. That is, this is also another defect of vision in which a person cannot see the nearby objects clearly but can see the far distant object clearly. Okay, that's why this defect of vision is called farsightedness. Farsightedness. So a person cannot see the distant cannot see the nearby objects clearly here, but can see the far distant objects clearly, right? And this happens because of the focal length of the eye is too long. The focal length of the eye lens is too long. That's the one reason. Another reason is the eyeball has become too small. That may be another reason for the defect of vision of hypermetropia. Okay, hypermetropia, these are the two reasons for the occurrence of this defect. Now this defect also can be corrected. This defect also can be corrected by using a convex lens of appropriate power. Now students, another defect of vision is presbyopia. Now what is presbyopia? Some people, due to the old age, okay, gradually they may be losing the eyesight, they may be losing the vision of both the near vision as well as the far vision. Okay, so that condition of the eye is called presbyopia. That means the person who is suffering from both myopia and hypermetropia. Okay, that condition, this defect is called combiningly presbyopia. Okay, and this arises due to the gradual weakening of the ciliary muscles. The ciliary muscles, it becomes weak due to which that person suffers from presbyopia. That is the loss of vision for the far distance as well as the nearby distance. So this defect can be corrected by using a bifocal lenses, that is consists of both concave and convex lenses. The upper portion consists of concave lenses and the lower portion consists of convex lenses. Upper portion facilitates the distant vision and the lower portion facilitates the near vision. That's all for today. In the next video, we'll be coming out with the other remaining points of this chapter. Till then, take care, be at home, stay safe. It's Nirmal Roy signing off.